Well, I'm here with Margaret Killjoy, who is the founder of Steampunk Magazine, as well as one of the editors for an upcoming steampunk book, the Steampunk's Guide to Sex, is it?
That's true.
All right, so Magpie, let me ask. Steampunk's Guide to Sex. This is going to teach steampunks how to, yeah, like that, right?
The Steampunk's Guide to Sex is... It's a guide to how Victorians had sex, but it's also a guide to how steampunks can have sex. And it's also, it's not just the steampunk Kama Sutra, it actually gets into a lot of stuff that's more relevant to steampunks today, I would say, like, for example, consent culture, polyamory, kink, things like that.
And you've listed as part of the contributors Alan Moore. Can you tell us a little bit about what he contributed?
Sure. I talked to Alan Moore a few days ago to get his thoughts on mostly on Victorian prostitution and also on, oh God, my brain just turned off. What else did he talk about? Pornography. That's what Alan Moore likes to talk about quite a lot, it turns out. You ask him a little bit about it, and he goes on for a very good long time with lots of really interesting stuff. And so he's one of the contributors. There's a lot of contributors to the book who are sharing their thoughts about Victoriana and sex, contemporary culture and sex,
And just specifically your steampunk credentials. Obviously, you started Steampunk Magazine with a couple of other people, correct?
That's true. I founded Steampunk Magazine by myself in 2006, but I have never been the sole editor of it, and there's been a lot of different people who have been part of editing it. For several years, I was run out of the UK. Now it's back in the States. I put out issue 8, I'm about to put out issue 9. I'm also the author of A Steampunk's Guide to the Apocalypse, and I'm the author of a steampunk interactive fiction novel, like, choose your own adventure style, but legally distinct, called What Lies Beneath the Clock Tower.
And now, generally speaking, in the media, as well as probably for a lot of our viewers, when they think of steampunk, they think of goggles and giant hats and maybe a big old contraption. And I don't see goggles, giant hats, or big old contraptions on you. Can you touch upon a little bit about how you feel the definition of steampunk is, as well as how you fit into the steampunk movement?
Wait, chainmail isn't shit. So, this is I'm not currently in steampunk garb. You caught me on a day where I'm trying to work towards dragon punk garb. But I do feel that steampunk is, it's a lot of things, and it can be a lifestyle. And I actually dress fairly steampunk day to day, although I'm not usually begoggled, although I found driving goggles to be particularly useful. I just find that I don't need to be dressed steampunk every moment to, be steampunk and be interested in steampunk.
Right. So the question that we are asking all steampunks this weekend is, are you a Georgia peach?
I am actually uncertain whether or not I'm a Georgia peach. I'm assuming I'm not, because I'm not from Georgia. But if I knew what a Georgia peach was, then I would probably look more interesting right now.
Fair enough. And the question we're asking everyone across the board at DragonCon is, how do you avoid cosplay or steampunk drama?
I avoid scene drama for cosplay and steampunk by not hanging out with people who are really irritating, and not having steampunk be my primary social outlet. And instead, I care about my friends and I interact with my friends, and I also love a lot of the steampunks I know, and those are the people I interact with.
All right, well, wonderful. So, Magpie, this chainmail. Did you make this chainmail yourself?
I did.
How long did that take you?
I think between 30 and 40 hours.
All right, about how effective do you think it is?
It could stop a knife.
Could it?
See? Right. Stops a knife.
Magpie Killjoy. Definitely knives are not his one weakness.
At least in this area. Only stab where there's metal.